Hello everyone, Crypto Explorer here. Welcome back on the channel. Hope you're doing great as always. And also, as always, let's talk DeFi. And on today's video, I want to talk to you a little bit about ARBMiner. This one launched roughly 4 hours ago on Arbitrum, and they claim to be the first miner on Arbitrum. Now, this is going to be a different video from usual. When I bring you this type of protocols, I'll tell you how it runs, how much it pays a day, etc., etc., the things you should have in mind. But for this one, I think there are things that are probably much more important than this, and they should be shared with you in order for you to make your own mind if you want to buy in or not into this miner. So yeah, that being said, let's get into it. So first and foremost, they claim to be the first miner on Arbitrum, and honestly they are not, and I have my doubts for the team. They definitely know that they are not the first, and they must know that there's competition, of course. And the only reason why I believe they claim to be the first is because they basically want to create FOMO. And although FOMO, creating that, is a tactic that teams use, and there's nothing wrong with it. Everyone wants to pump their own protocol, but I mean, claiming something which is not true, to me, it's a bit shady to say the least, right? And let's go into Monarch and see that for ourselves. So here it is, our miner, new, just launched, up to 8% a day. This is the TVL 40,974. In the contract address, we have the same number, right? So it's the same contract. So let's go here on Monarch and just see. Kingdom Quest RB. This is not a miner per se, but is a ROI type of dApp, runs on Arbitrum and pays with the ARB token. So ARBMiner V2, ARBMiner, Arbitrum Miner, like all three run on Arbitrum network and they use the ARB token. So when it comes to being the first miner on Arbitrum, that's clearly not the case. I'm not sure why they claim that. Like I said, probably they just want to build FOMO, but I don't think the right thing to do to create FOMO is just come with these false statements. So yeah, but even more serious than this is when I went on and checked the contract, and I got or someone got in touch with me asking me to just do a video about our miner, do a review about it, and I said yeah, sure. So let me check the contract first. So I checked, it's a fork of baked beans, and I asked if the team had past work. I got no reply until now, and so I did went onto their Telegram channel and I asked someone in the community or in the team, not really sure, but they said the team has no past work. But they they still reassured me that although that was the case, the team was in DeFi for long enough to know how to handle this project and to market. And I think that for the most part, they do have their marketing dialed in, because the contract has just been blowing up and people are in fact buying into the protocol. And I also do see some action from the Chinese community in their Telegram group. So it goes to show that they are also taking measures into to just marketing this project into the Chinese markets, right? So when it comes to that, the team behind ARBMiner, they're doing their work, right? But I'm glad I did not do the video before the contract went live, and I'm going to show you why. So here it is. I just came here into the transactions and I just looked for the seed market interaction, because this is the interaction when the dev of the contract just basically makes the first deposit into the protocol. You can see that all the actions before of this are just failed. And I am on the page 6 of out of, let me scroll down, 13. Okay, so there are 7 pages behind this one or before this one, all filled with failed transactions, and this is bots trying to get in. Probably, yeah, for the most part they're bots, but there's definitely some folks also trying to buy in very, very early, because that's a huge advantage that the people who get in very early have on miners. All right, but still, I'm explaining you why these transactions, all of them failed, right? So let's go ahead and see what the seed market interaction has to show. So transaction details, right? We are on ARBScan to check this out, and this is a dev wallet. So he deposited 10k Arbitrum, 10k ARB tokens into the protocol to get it started, to seed the miner. And then the contract sends back to his own wallet 300 ARB, and this is just usual. It's the fee that every transaction will pay 3% fee for the dev, and 3% fee. I'm pretty comfortable with that. I think it's a number very good, well under the average for this type of protocols. Usually you see at least 5, if not higher, when it comes to dev's fee. This one has 3%. To me, that's not the issue. The issue is the 10k ARB tokens that were used to see the contract, because this gives the owner or the dev huge advantage over the following people, which is the investors of the protocol, right? And although the contract is safe and cannot be rugged because it's a fork of baked beans, right? Also, the fact that the dev has so much tokens invested means that he got the biggest share of miners. Even people who get in after him and deposit, let's say, double 20k ARB, they will not get the same miners. That's the type of advantage that people who get in very early have in these protocols. If you do not understand miners fully, I have done a video on it, and I will link it in the description. So if you want to educate yourself further in how these type of protocols work. So this is the reason why I'm glad I didn't do the video before launch, because I would have missed this from the team. And this is something that you should always do when it comes to your own research of protocols. And since the team had no past work, I didn't really know what to expect. It could be anything, actually. And in this case, it was not such a pleasant surprise. I think it's a bit shady. And although I don't think the dev is going to just withdraw the funds, but if he would very easily get at least his 10k back in one withdrawal, at least right now. But I don't think he's going to do that, at least very in the upcoming days, because I think it's the whole point, of course, depositing 10k ARB. It's also trying to build FOMO, and people will look at, whoa, look at this miner just launched, it already has 10k in the contract. And most people don't do this type of research, and they just are led on by FOMO, and it's a good measure when it comes to creating FOMO, of course, but it's not that fair to investors. And in the dev's defense, he says that he did this, and this is something which you can check on the Moonarch Telegram channel, right? This was called out there. The Moonarch dev was calling the owner of the ARBMiner to what he had to say about this, because it's a bit shady, like I said, and due to the advantage that he already got himself by doing that. But the dev came back and said, well, I needed to do that in order to get bots under control, and that's why I was showing you all these failed interactions from bots, right? And like I said, 7 pages before this one filled with these failed transactions. This happens because actually the miner launch was just promoted, and it was clearly said this day at this hour, so people had more than enough time to set up their bots and try to get in very early. So in his defense, yes, it's a legitimate reason, but it would not be, or it's not the only way that people or teams can avoid getting just flooded with bots, right? Other things could have been done, like, for example, setting up an investment cap until the contract reaches a certain amount of value, and from there on, that cap would be inexistent, right? That would be one alternative. The other also could be just having a stealth launch, saying, okay, the miner will launch in this day, but they would not announce the hour, right? So people would need to just keep on checking their Telegram group and just and see for themselves whenever the announcement for the miner to go live would be, and pay extreme attention if they wanted to be very early, right? But those things were not made. Also, they could have blacklisted wallets. Some projects do that, try to block bots from just buying into the protocol and have that unfair advantage. But that is not the most popular option. Some people have their issues with that, and to be honest, understandably, right? But other than the blacklisting, there are other options I already told you. And actually, the Fortune miner, which has a solid, highly transparent team behind, they had their miner and their latest miner announced, and they did that same stealth launch. They said, "Hey, we're going to launch a miner. It's going to be in this day," but they did not announce the hour because of this. They wanted to avoid this and make it fair for everyone. Is it fair for everyone in our miner? It's not. To be honest, it's not. Although the reason that the dev claims to be blocking bots, right, not allowing bots to take that huge initial advantage, that is a valid reason. But I mean, it isn't because there would be other alternatives. This would be one alternative that, yes, it did stop bots in a way, but also it gave the dev a huge advantage. And like I said, I don't think he's gonna withdraw, but if he would, the TVL would take a huge hit, at least 10k hit right away, which obviously would defeat the purpose of creating FOMO. And yeah, guys, this is what I wanted to share with you. These are the type of things that probably not many um, channels will be sharing with you. I would not be able to share this with you if I had made the video before launch. I'm glad that I didn't. So now, if you're just trying to do your own research and gather more information, hopefully you come across this video and you understand what is going on here. It doesn't mean that the project will fail. On the contrary, I mean, it seems to be going really well, and the FOMO is really taking people's judgment and just letting them buying in, because everyone thinks that this is going to print, right, with that huge pump into the TVL. But in reality, the dev has a lot of control, to be honest, and it could result, if he withdraws later on in the future, it could result in a big hit into the TVL, something that a whale. So basically, the dev is a whale right now. Something that a whale could do. The dev is already has that power, and at some point in the future, I don't know if he will, but he could. That's all that I want to share with you. Of course, this type of info will be seen as the team has FUD, but these are just facts, guys. I'm just giving you facts. First miner on Arbitrum, it's not. Seeding of the contract, also a bit shady. And I just think they are trying at least to build some FOMO into the protocol, but at the same time, it's not being very fair to investors. Even if it goes to hundreds of thousands or millions into the TVL, which could be, uh, yeah, like I said, they are doing some real efforts with marketing, I think. Um, so yeah, let's see what it brings. But I really didn't like these two things: the first miner on Arbitrum, which I'm pretty sure they know they are not, and also the seeding with 10k, when there are other alternatives that would not give the owner that unfair advantage. Also, guys, one other thing: the dev gets unused referrals. Many times I see people in chat saying, "Hey, YouTubers, they kill projects because they have a huge audience and they have huge volumes because they shield the referral link." And that's true. That's true. There are people who do that, who take advantage of that, and projects have died in the past very fast because of YouTubers taking advantage. But when owners get unused referrals, they also have a tremendous power, and I don't see many people mentioning that. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you, all of these different aspects about miners, about ARBMiner specifically. Hopefully you got some true value from this video. If you are doing your own research, hit that like button and let me know if this information was helpful for you. Or if you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Um, and yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe for more of this type of content. Let me know what you think about the protocol, about the information shared. And I'm going to wrap this one up basically. Thank you for watching. Take care. stay safe, because crypto is still a wild, wild world, and I just showed you that actually with ARBMiner. Let's see how the project runs, and yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you for watching.